Hello creatives! In this video, I'll share with you life-changing tips on how to stop living paycheck to paycheck today. You'll learn how you can become financially free and live your best life. Do you often rely on salary advances and payday loans? Or do you frequently depend on friends and family to bail you out financially? If yes, then my friend, you are living paycheck to paycheck, and I'm here to help you out. Statistics show that approximately 78% of US workers live paycheck to paycheck. That's alarming and explains why so many people are broke or prone to being broke often. But first things first, what exactly is living paycheck to paycheck? Living paycheck to paycheck is when you are always thinking about how and when you'll pay your bills. Even if you can pay them, no money is left. You are in a constant money deficit and you can't even tell where your money went. Does that sound familiar? I'm sure you're fed up with this old story. I've researched the best ideas that you can use to never be broke again. I have a soft spot for idea number 6. It's the reason why I can save up and invest comfortably. But before then, if you are new here, consider subscribing to this channel and continue receiving great videos like this one. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get informed every time I publish a life-changing video. Here we go. Number 1. Start budgeting. According to Tish Oxenreider, the simplest definition of a budget is telling your money where to go. So, having a budget allows you to take control of your money. You get to dictate your spending, and that saves you from being broke. A budget also enables you to meet your financial objectives like saving, debt repayment, and investing. Furthermore, it lets you identify issues in your finances before you get caught in debt. So, how should you budget? You can leverage technology with a tool like You Need a Budget, Wally, or Personal Capital. You can also do it the old-fashioned way. Take out a pen and paper and write everything down. Then, use the 50-20-30 rule to simplify everything. The rule dictates that you spend 50% of your after-tax earnings on basic needs, 20% on savings and/or debt repayment, and 30% on wants. By the end of it, make sure you're left with no money hanging around. Your balance should be zero, which means you've accounted for every coin in your paycheck. The takeaway: budget for every dollar you make to take charge of your finances. Number 2. Pay down your debt using the debt snowball method. Every time you borrow money, you are robbing your future self. These words by Nathan W. Morris should tell you that debts will only leave you broke, and it's about time you find a solution. When you don't budget and you live above your means, bad debt is inevitable. We call these debts personal loans. This is when you borrow to support your lifestyle and not for investment. I'm suggesting you pay down your non-mortgage debts using the debt snowball method. Non-mortgage debts include personal loans, auto loans, medical debt, and credit card loans, and any other loan that is not a mortgage. The snowball method dictates that you start paying your loans beginning with the smallest balance as you work your way upwards. While at it, pay your minimum payments on all your other debts. Once you're done with the smallest one, take that payment and add it to the next one in line. Eventually, a snowball effect will be created and you'll find yourself clearing the list. This debt reduction method motivates you to continue paying your debts as you celebrate all the small wins. That makes it useful. The takeaway: start paying down your debt so you can have enough to save and invest sooner. Debts will only make you broke. Number 3. Start cutting back. Sometimes you have to be stingy with your finances, so you have to analyze everything to see those expenses you can reduce on to save money. Let's start with dining out and movies. You don't have to eat out or go to the cinema every week. Try cooking or watching a movie from home. The next thing is to re-examine your housing costs. You can save much more by downsizing. Consider looking for a smaller house to move to and save on rent and utility costs. You also need to evaluate your lifestyle to see expenses that you can trim. Cancel expensive subscriptions like a gym membership, costly internet costs, and expensive cable TV. Your car may also be draining you financially, so consider getting an option that's economical in fuel and shop for cheaper auto insurance. The takeaway: look into your expenditure to see things you can cut back on and save money. Number 4. Track your expenses. Dave Ramsey, a personal finance expert, advises you must gain control over your money or the lack of it will forever control you. So, how do you take full charge of your money? One way to do it is by tracking your expenses. You have to monitor your income outflow. Whether you use cash or credit cards, you should know how much is going out of your pocket. That allows you to be wary of overages. One way to do that is by checking your account statement. You can also use a budgeting app like You Need a Budget or Do Things Manually, whereby you record all your expenses as soon as they happen. The takeaway: find the most suitable way to track expenses and avoid overages. Number 5. Set an emergency fund. So many things are unforeseen in life. A car can break down, the roof over your house may start leaking, or you may have a costly medical bill. You could also lose your job. Since no one can foresee these cases, the best you can do is save up money in a bank account, an emergency fund. An emergency fund essentially acts as a financial buffer that ensures you stay afloat when an emergency strikes. So, how do you set up an emergency fund? Consider opening a high-yield savings account so that your money can grow. Besides, it's easier to access your money in this kind of fund. Most financial experts advise that you save at least $1,000 or 3 months of living expenses into your emergency fund. The takeaway: start preparing for life emergencies with an interest-yielding savings account. Number 6. Pay yourself first. The worst financial mistake you can ever make when you want to save is to do it after paying your bills. Even the 4th richest person in the world, Warren Buffett, advises against it. He says, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. That brings us to a smart personal finance approach: paying yourself first. The personal finance approach requires you to first invest before paying your monthly expenses or making discretional purchases. I consider this my golden rule in personal finance, as it allows me to save up in a savings account, retirement account, or emergency fund. The takeaway: save up and invest in your future the smart way by paying yourself first. Number 7. Automate your savings. Writing down a budget or opening an emergency fund is easy for most people. However, the challenging task is now to start saving and continue doing it. If that's something you've experienced, then here is a tip for you. According to Joe Moore, the time to save money is when you have some. The best stress-free way to save money is to automate your income. Consider setting up automatic transfers into your savings account as soon as you receive your income. That means savings comes before every other bill. The money can go into an emergency account or a retirement account. To make it easier, use an automatic savings tool like Digit, Capital, or Stash. The takeaway: simplify your savings process by automating it. Number 8. Live below your means. While having more money is the antidote for being broke, for others, it's living simply. That is, if you believe in Henry David Thoreau. He says, "That man is richest whose pleasures are cheapest." Besides, if you can't manage the little money you're making, it's also likely you won't succeed in managing more. So the secret is to live below your means. Living below your means means trading short-term pleasures for long-term gains. It means learning to buy things you can afford and work with a budget. It also means paying yourself first, driving used, and cutting costly expenses. So why should you live below your means? Well, it allows you to stay debt-free and stress-free. It also allows you to save and promotes financial security. The takeaway: save yourself from financial stress by living below your means. Number 9. Increase your income. If you cannot live below your means, you have to find ways to bring in more money. Warren Buffett advises never depend on a single income. make investments to create a second source. But what's wrong with relying on a single income if it pays well? For one, no job or business is secure. You could lose your job, or your business could suffer an unforeseen financial hit. If that happens, you'll be broke and devastated. Also, you can't make as much with a single source as you would with multiple streams. Now, how can you increase your income? The simplest approach is to get another job or a side hustle. You can sign up as a delivery person, flip items online, freelance on Fiverr or Upwork, walk dogs in the neighborhood, or do anything else that earns you money. However, I'll advise you to concentrate more on passive income. For example, you can start a blog or a YouTube channel and monetize it to earn passive income. The takeaway: do your homework and find a good source of extra income. The more the income streams, the better for you. In conclusion, you can elude living paycheck to paycheck and become financially free. All it takes are the ideas I've shared. So, consider putting them into action and wait to say goodbye to being broke. I know that this video was exciting and you loved it. Also check out this exciting video about 12 money mistakes you have to avoid at all costs, and other life-changing resources in the description below. If you haven't subscribed yet, you're definitely missing out. See you